corner. Tebow's got a first down and more. He might score. Touchdown!
In my zone, ended up floating right to me. I said I was going to make sure I caught it, and I think at that time I was trying to score, get up.
He'll snap it. Actually, Colt Anderson is behind him. And what in the world?
All right, Football Thursday, Episode 3. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me here today. I am ConDog209. Let's go over some college football rankings for you. So, let's take a look here. I got them spliced up in the top 15 this time, just because I think these are the true contenders for a college football playoff spot or conference championship, to maybe get into a New Year's Six bowl. So, every team here has an option to get into a New Year's Six bowl. But, of course, not every team can get a New Year's Six bowl because they're just awesome and not everyone's allowed. But first things first, let's take a look at number 1. Dominant as ever over Texas A&M last week. It was the Clemson Tigers. That is a great win. They went to College Station, and they blew the pants right off of the Aggies. Sorry, Johnny Manziel. Number 2, it is going to be Roll Tide, Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. They were exactly what they thought we were. Well, I'm sorry, Dennis Green, I just butchered your whole statement. They are exactly what we thought they were. And totally, picking on non-tough, Nick Saban personally chosen non-conference scheduling. But, hey, they keep proving it in the college football world that they do deserve what they get. But they are going to fix that up. Starting in a couple years, they're going to schedule home and homes. They have home and homes with Texas, Wisconsin, West Virginia, Mich State. It's coming up in the next few years for their non-conference games. They're going to be playing a lot tougher non-conference opponents now. Texas, we'll get to them later, but number 3, it is going to be the Bulldogs from Georgia, the kings of the SEC East for what seems like forever during the college football playoff era, as Jake Fromm and Kirby Smart have really been dominating that whole division of that conference. They have yet to eclipse Bama, and that has been their major downfall when trying to win a national title. But, hey, you work with what you got to work with. There's been a lot of dominant teams over the years. Number 4, they just went up into the top 5. It is the LSU Tigers. They had a great win all the way in Austin, Texas, as they took on the Texas Longhorns in a great matchup. More thoughts about that later on. And I mean way later on, because I'm going to be doing a little analysis of that game after this top 50 ranking. Number 5, it is the Sooners from Oklahoma. And yet, they haven't played, not everyone's played big games yet, so it's still a little bit of a wash here. Same with Ohio State. They haven't really played big games yet, but you got to base it kind of on last season still. Haven't played much big. But number 7 we can get to as Auburn Tigers. Again, they're still coming off of their victory versus the Oregon Ducks, which, again, I believe the Oregon Ducks actually threw that game more than Auburn won that game. But, hey, Alabama did the same thing a couple years ago. You know the clip. Alabama's going to win the football game. Or Auburn's going to win the football game, the return punt. But that happens. It happens. That's why college football is awesome. One done. There's crazy moments. Just underestimate team. Appalachian State, UCF, Boise State, Nevada, all the crazy stuff. Number 8, I'm going to put the Florida Gators. Florida Gators, Tim Tebow's alma mater. Great school right there, but definitely, I like the Gators here. They just don't have the loss, but they do have the victory over the Miami Hurricanes in Week 0. So I'm just going to leave them there. Number 9, I didn't drop them too hard, is the Texas Longhorns, only because I personally felt like I think the hand of God, Maradona's hand of God goal, just divine intervention stopped them from winning this game at home against LSU. What could go wrong would go wrong. And that's exactly what happened here for the Longhorns. And it was not a pretty picture at all. I mean, we're talking about dropped 4th and goal, wide open passes by the running back, stopped on a quarterback sneak goal line run. Oh, what else? Oh, a fumble that was turned back because the elbow was down. And still only lost by a touchdown and almost still recovered the onside kick. They were this close to recovering the onside kick as well. So I just think fortune did not favor the Longhorns, no matter how well they played. And to be honest, if 9 out of 10 times they played, I think Longhorns actually take that. But hey, that's not how reality works. We only have one reality, and it's the reality that the Longhorns did still lose to the LSU Tigers this year. But they still have a great shot to make it to the college football playoff as long as they run the table. And considering the other 3 teams that I have ahead of them are in the SEC West and 2 are in the SEC East, they're going to beat up on each other. So you still have a chance to pounce. Some teams might get 2 losses. Who knows? So Texas, you still have a great shot. Next, it is the Michigan Wolverines, coached by none other than khaki pants Jim Harbaugh himself. And Jim Harbaugh here did not look great. The Michigan Wolverines did not look great at all versus Army. And I mean, Army was a turnover on overtime and a field goal in regulation away from beating the Michigan Wolverines. So that was Army's game to lose. That Michigan, you did not. Army just lost that game. You played horribly, and you got Wisconsin coming up after your bye week. The Badgers are a tough opponent. I don't know about you, Michigan, but I would definitely hope you've been practicing a lot on this bye week. Next up, it is the Fighting Irish from Notre Dame, all the way in Indiana. Again, join a conference, Notre Dame. I'm just sick of you guys getting the benefit of the doubt because you guys are a legendary program. You know, Lou Holtz and all of that. But why is it that UCF or Boise State gets penalized for being in a non-power conference when you're not in a non-power conference? I just think that's a lot of bias for the Power 5 and / Notre Dame, which is totally unfair. But hey, good team. You've won bowl games, but you haven't won major power bowl games. You haven't won any New Year's Six bowl game this decade. So I think your name doesn't stand for itself. You've been blown off. Doors have been blown off by LSU in a Sugar Bowl, blown off by Alabama in a championship, blown off by Clemson last year. Again, I don't trust you in big bowl games against teams that are in real conferences. Sorry. Next up, it is the Wisconsin Badgers, who have a chance to go up and eclipse. And I mean eclipse Michigan Wolverines coming up in the next few weeks. The 21st is when they play the Wolverines, which will be great for the Wisconsin Badgers. Wisconsin is one of the greatest college crowds out there. If you don't believe me, go watch one of their videos. They're an awesome crowd. They are amazing. They're one of the top 5 college crowds, so definitely. They love it over there. I mean, they're Wisconsin. I mean, they love their Green Bay Packers. They love their Wisconsin Badgers. That's just what they are. Number 13, leaders in the pack. It is the Utah Utes. The Utah Utes, again, are leading the pack right now due to an Oregon loss. But, hey, they still have a chance to run the table here. They have a chance to maybe sneak into the college football playoff. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. The pack is very fun to watch this year, actually. Number 14, going back to the Big Ten, we got the Penn State Nittany Lions. No Saquon Barkley, no problem here, as they still have a chance to do fairly well in this division. Not the hardest schedule, but definitely not the easiest schedule around. I mean, you're playing the Big Ten Conference. That's how it goes. I mean, usually, you know, a very good team in the Big Ten will do very well, and then they'll lose to like a 5-4 or 6-3 Iowa squad that's really good on defense, has really strong tight ends. Iowa is tight end U. So that is, I mean, they just put in 3 of the best tight ends in the draft recently. So, you know, schools like Iowa's still there. Like, again, weaker schools are still tough opponents. And then 15, it's the Oregon Ducks. The Oregon Ducks have a chance to, you know, move up depending on their play. And Justin Herbert, I'd like to see a lot more big-time plays and big-time games before I'm completely sold on you being a college-grade quarterback and the true successor to Marcus Mariota. But that's just it for Oregon. I mean, you guys kind of blew the game against Auburn, and that would have been a great shot. You still slightly have a chance to make the college football playoff, but that would require a lot of 2-loss teams, considering you're in a weaker, I wouldn't say weaker, you're in a Power 5 conference, but you are in a one where you just haven't posted a dominant team since 2014's Marcus Mariota days, his Heisman days. But Sleeper pick for the pack. I've discussed this with my friend who's gone to Colorado, and it was before the Nebraska game actually too. And I said sleeper pick for the pack, and so far Colorado Buffaloes have been doing very good, and that's going to be interesting. So back to the Texas LSU game. What could go wrong did go wrong. It was not fun to watch if you're rooting for the Longhorns. Matthew McConaughey was there at College Game Day. He was there at the sidelines, much like how Snoop Dogg was during the Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush days. Just a whole lot of fun. You had Matthew McConaughey at College Game Day singing the fight song. Lee Corso picking the LSU Tigers. And LSU, they did not look like traditional LSU at all. They threw it and threw it and threw it. They had a lot of fun there. And it was awesome to see. It was awesome to watch. They got a few lucky breaks compared to Texas, but hey, it happens. I mean, Texas Longhorns did get a couple lucky breaks on LSU's quarterback where they would hit him after the ball was thrown and it didn't get caught. Then one time it did get caught and the Texas fans started booing, but I had to agree. I saw it like on the camera all day. Cheap shots in. But again, a penalty isn't, miraculously missing on 2 4th-and-goals, a missed onside kick. Well, it wasn't even like the LSU recovered it. It went perfectly bounced for Texas. He just dropped it. Then there was the most unfortunate where it was a fumble at LSU, but because the elbow hit the ground, it was just, very unfortunate set of circumstances for the Longhorns. But they still have a great shot. And Red River Week's coming up upon us. We're heading into Week 3. Red River's coming up where it'll be divided burnt orange and Sooner red, and it is going to be awesome, which I'll go back to on why Texas has scheduled Alabama with a home-at-home, because A&M's now out of the conference. The Sooner game's at the Cotton Bowl down there in Texas, Dallas, Texas. So what's your big home game or away game? Baylor isn't hot anymore. Tech, not very hot anymore since the Crabtree days. So, yeah, who's your big, home and home? So, you got to get some big teams there. That's why they got the LSU game, and they're going to be soon getting the Crimson Tide there all the way in Austin, Texas. I say, yeah, do it some more. Like, Alabama's used to doing the neutral turf games, but Alabama's starting to realize that they're missing some home revenue income as well, just because it favors them to play at a neutral turf that's a little bit closer to Alabama doesn't necessarily benefit you financially. It benefits you schedule-wise, winning games-wise, but it just doesn't benefit you financially. And I'm pretty sure some advisors, some athletic directors told Nick Saban that it just brings in this much more money, and Nick Saban might actually get a raise for it. I mean, they're not going to fire Nick Saban unless he starts going 0-12 like 3 years in a row, folks. So he's fine. He's fine. He's well off. Like, it is definitely not going to resort to that. Like, losing one very good game isn't going to hurt you that well. But back to Texas LSU. What could go wrong did go wrong. That's the take of the story. Congratulations. Both teams played a very well game. Sam Ehlinger continued the fight. He continued the drive. And very close, but to no avail. All right, let's move on to the NFL. The NFL. Let's take a look here at the standings of the NFL. The NFL standings here, we got the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. They are leading the AFC East. They are 1-0. The Bills had a miraculously comeback win versus the New York Jets. And the New England Patriots, they're going to be heading off to Miami after their stomping that they did of the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Baltimore Ravens are the only winners in the AFC North, so they're going to be looking at a playoff spot if the season ended right now. Just doing that for a little fun, of course. Got the Cleveland Browns, got the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Cincinnati Bengals, Tennessee Titans, Jacksonville Jaguars, Indianapolis Colts, Houston Texans, and man, Deshaun Watson. I feel sorry for you. You did a great job. You led a great comeback there against the Saints, but to no avail. The Raiders, they looked great against the Broncos, but the Kansas City Chiefs are their next opponent. Let's see if the Chiefs can capitalize on the Raiders. Who knows what's going to happen. The Raiders do have a little bit of a shorter week, having to play a Monday night game. So I'm going to be looking at that. The Chargers, again, they're now missing a few key targets. Mike Williams, I've heard, isn't going to be doing so high. He missed the practice. Hunter Henry is going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. Rip all fantasy owners who have him. Rest in peace. But I did pick up Darren Waller, so I'm not going to be too mad. But, yeah, Chargers going to Denver Broncos. You look like the worst team in the league, besides the Miami Dolphins. How did that happen? You looked super bad. Like, it looked like you... I mean, sure, you came back, but again, it was the Raiders, and it was garbage time. But you looked very bad. At least the Ravens have Lamar Jackson. Like, David Carr's not Lamar Jackson. Or Derek Carr, I mean. Not David, that's his brother. Come on. But the Dallas Cowboys, they beat the brakes off the New York Giants, and the Philadelphia Eagles had a little bit of a struggle against the Washington Redskins. Go fund yourself. And the Green Bay Packers here had a great victory. Well, I wouldn't say great victory over Chicago Bears. It was a very close game. It was down there at Soldier Field. The Bears' offense just couldn't move, and that led to the Packers winning to no avail. And that was the downfall for Jimmy Graham's touchdown out of nowhere. The New Orleans Saints got a great comeback win over the Texans. The Texans' defense did falter. Carolina Panthers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Atlanta Falcons all need to look a little better. Panthers, they at least have the excuse of playing the Rams. NFC West, the Niners played the Bucks. The Seahawks, Pete Carroll got over his Bengals hump. And the Cardinals, they tied. So they did a lot better in that second half, mainly the last quarter or so. And let's take a look at that Pigskin Pick'em here, folks. We got Pigskin Pick'em, and it is going to be hot, and it is going to be fun. Pigskin Pick'em here. I have chosen, first things first, Carolina Panthers Thursday Night Football over the Bucks. Thursday Night Football can lead to sloppy games. Jameis Winston looks sloppy having a full week. I don't expect him to do better on a half a week. And Mike Evans had the flu last Sunday. Going to take the Panthers here. I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills. They got Devin Singletary, a strong run game. Okay young quarterback. Decent receiving core, a very strong defense. I'll take the Buffalo Bills over the New York Giants. Bengals versus Niners. The Bengals may have lost, but they played a very good Seattle team that did very well. The Niners played a weak Tampa Bay team. Bengals, Andy Dalton looked well. New coaching staff could just be a whole thing, fresh mind in there. No more Marvin Lewis. So I'm going to ride the Bengals. They have the talent. Next game, Cowboys-Redskins. I'm definitely going to take a look at the Dallas Cowboys here. Dallas Cowboys, I'll take them. San Diego, why do I keep saying San Diego Chargers? Los Angeles Chargers, I know they're down and out, but Detroit Lions, yikes. Detroit Lions. They let one slip away. The Cardinals were who they thought they were. And, yeah, the air raid offense picked up a lot. Sorry. T.J. Hawkinson looked great. He's going to be part of their offense, according to Matt Patricia. He's going to be a huge part of it. Vikings-Packers. Packers couldn't get anything going against a good Bears defense. The Vikings defense isn't as good, but the Vikings offense is loads better. They are loaded. Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins, Stephon Diggs. They are loaded. And I'm going to take the Vikings here in a very close game. Tennessee Titans versus Indianapolis Colts. No luck. You're out of luck. Sorry, Colts. I'm going to roll with Mike Vrabel's crew right here. Baltimore Ravens, Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to roll with the Baltimore Ravens here. I know I like air raid, but Lamar Fraction Jackson is on fire. Hollywood Brown, they are on fire. Go with the hot hand. Steelers Seahawks. This is a rematch of the first ever Super Bowl victory for Ben Roethlisberger. Sean Alexander. That one. It was one of the more forgettable Super Bowls, I guess. It just kind of happened. But, hey, Seahawks. I'm going to roll with Pete Carroll's Seahawks to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. They did not look good at all in that first game. Not sure. And no Juju. That could be limiting to them. Expect James Conner to get a lot of touches. Texans versus Jaguars. I'm definitely going to roll with the Texans. The Jaguars just lost Nick Foles. Texans definitely want to start 1-1 after that Week 1 loss. Next up, Kansas City Raiders. Going to go Kansas City. Bears, Broncos both looked bad on offense, but the Bears look much better on defense, so I will roll with that into that victory. Next, we got the Saints and the Rams. We got the Falcons and the Eagles and the Browns Jets. I'm going to be going Saints, Falcons, Browns. Yep, Sam Darnold just came down with the flu as I'm recording this, and I totally forgot to, do the final score of last week, so that was kind of my bad. I did kind of go over a little bit of my review for my scores last week. Then I got the Browns. I filled this out right before I knew Sam Darnold came down with mono, but I'm going to keep it at 21-13 regardless. 9 points, though, for week 1 was not pretty. You know, most people picked the Bears. I did get the Vikings. I missed on the Jets, missed on the Browns, got the Chiefs, picked Panthers. That was close. Picked Ravens, picked Eagles, picked Seahawks, picked Chargers, picked Cowboys. That's not fair. They don't even give an option for a tie, which I think is totally unfair if you're doing straight. That is totally unfair. Niners, I actually went with the Steelers. I bit myself in the butt there, but Patriots looked incredible. I went Saints, and I went Broncos. I did not fill out that score, so I only have 9 points. Let's see how I do coming into next week of our Pigskin Pick'em here. Until next time, catch you later. It's Condog. Stay tuned for next week. Gonna have more content out.